know how I feel and I know how I feel about you, and I'm not gonna say I love you.
Well, this is to be like crying, like, you guys.
Welcome back to Eating It Up with Las Contreras, and I am one of your hosts called Brittany Contreras, obviously, and our co-host, well, not co-host, my partner in crime, my equal. Your name, please?
My name is Miss Alexa Contreras. Incredible, fabulous, spectacular. I'm not a co-host. I actually work here. So it's I work here, so it's really great to be back. Welcome back to Eat It Up. It's been a minute. Last time we did one, we did it in advance. So it's been like a month. So we're really excited for us to be back together again with one of your favorite things ever. Period.
Anyways, don't forget to follow our social medias, which will be linked down below, also up in the screen. Don't forget to also follow us individually and subscribe if you enjoyed this video or if you enjoyed previous videos. Stay for more. There's going to be future surprises, obviously. And what I will be missing is, don't forget to subscribe to Passion Fruit Luna. Just putting it out there. You know, I have to promote the girly.
Yup.
But let's get
New video
started
out too.
with today's new video's out. So check it out, please. So let's start with today's video, which is the last final episode of
Too Hot to Handle Latino Edition.
And the name of this episode is called The Last Temptation of Lana. And before we get started in diving into the whole episode, we do have 3 new characters, and to like avoid confusion down the line, I will name them right now. And their names are Clovis, yeah, Locho, these names, and then Diana, Diana, and those are the 3 characters. And we also have the 4 couples, the main core, which is which is Caro and Israel, Joel and Liliana, Flor y Nico, and Miss Española with Nick.
Doesn't have a name.
That's a twist.
She said,
yeah.
Miss Española.
Yeah, Zaira. Sorry, my apologies.
She said,
I just
no introduction.
Yes, and so with that being said, and with the recap of the contestants, let's get started with the video. Okay, so we started the video. It was so much. We had to watch it twice. That's how crazy it was.
Literally was confused.
It does start with a little gasp, and like crazy is that they talk about a love triangle, which is between Nick, Miss Española, and Clovis, which is one of the new characters. Obviously, we didn't know this because what we did is watch the first 2 episodes and then watch the very last one. We don't have a reunion, which is sad because if not, we would have done the reunion, but they're losers.
Rip.
But yeah, what do you feel about that triangle?
That triangle was kind of surprising because literally it starts raw. Like literally we start with a decision that Lana makes, I think like at the end of what would be the second episode, like number 7 and stuff like that. So we don't know what happened, we don't know what predicament, or like, sometimes Lana has like towards the end, like, a couple or a person that has to basically prove something. So we don't know his, and we meet this new character, this new face. We're like, boy, who are you? And we're trying to ordinate, or like basically get ourselves trying to see and scan who we realize or who we know, because going from the first episode to the last one and who's together, we were kind of like, girl, it could be with anybody. But yeah, we meet him in a really big decision for what is it? It's 5,000 that he can either leave or stay to make more connections. And from there, for him staying and speaking about how he met a really great girl, we then see it's Saida, and we're like, okay, so this is her man. Like, we think, okay, they're together, until you then see, then she then talks about that she's in together too with Nick. And we're like, oh, it's not like
Yeah.
a new recoupling. It's literally like she can't decide when. I was like, oh, she's still with Nick.
Which is like the beginning of the opening like scene for this episode is Lana asking Clovis if he wants to like dip with money or stay. Meaning like if he like wants to leave and leave Zaira like plantada, like leave her like just there, even if she does choose him, like he like will like risk it basically and just leave with like I think $5,000, or he could stay and lose that money, which he does choose to stay, which is like okay, go off, king. That was a very cute romantic part like side of him, but like later on we find out that he also was between her with Zaira, with Pañola, with another character that we didn't know because it was like in the previous episodes.
Yeah.
So it was like interesting.
Or like a lot of them are, well, a lot of the men are like that. So I think Saida might be the only one. I know in the beginning, I know some of the female characters were like that, but like that was insane. We're like, ooh, that's a little messy. Like that's it's a little too messy. But yeah, with him staying, because you want to make a connection, and Lana loves that. Okay, she can't love. She's AI, but she loves it. They get 15K because he's staying. And that's beautiful. We're like, okay, this must be real. Like we missed a lot of, lore. We missed a lot of tea to see what Saida and him offer, because we kind of just like this is them ending everything. Like this is either cut it or make it.
And talking about him helping them get more money, like not only was the 5,000 that he didn't use added back to the account, he was like, and how the 15 was up to. Let's talk about real quick the difference from the first. Like they had $100 million, and then up to the last episode, which is what we're talking about right now, they had 20,000 left before the two bonus things. That's crazy. You know how much of money they lost? $20,000 left from 100 million. Not million, thousand, 100,000.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm thinking in Spanish.
And Brittany brought it up while we were setting up, and we were talking about like, you know how much they started with? Like that's a lot, and like the amount of money they must have gained and lost. That profit to what is it? Profit to asset ratio does not match. They did not go to business school, and I would know. Like that's insane.
Literally,
Y'all couldn't stop.
that is
touching.
insane.
It was insane first episode. I'm surprised.
Yeah, and then right after he chooses to stay, we get like little like other scenes of like Miss España trying to have a conversation with one of the other girls, which is one of the new contestants. Not the contestants, but one of the new girls, that is Diana. I keep calling her Diana. Is it Diana? Yeah, I think it is Diana. It's just spelled with an H.
Diana or Dinah.
Diana, something like that.
Well,
but
English
basically,
version.
she's very wise, she's very demure, she's very understanding, she's very girls in general. Even when she was in her toxic stage, that we get a glimpse, like not we get like a talk of it, because obviously we didn't see the previous episodes, but even in those moments she was very like honest and direct. So I guess Mrs. Spania saw that and was like, you know what, let me talk to her. And while they were talking, she's like, honestly, I don't know what to do. I could choose between these two guys or even choose myself. And even alone, she's like, you know what, like it's gonna be a hard decision because they're both nice guys. Like I don't know how to do. And then Diana's like, follow your heart, sweetie. Basically, that's what she says. She's a very open-minded person. But she does give her another option, too. She's like, choose your heart. And if your heart can't choose, maybe think about being a poly, which is, like, very open-minded of her. But obviously, Mrs. Spania was like, no, I kind of want to choose somebody, or at least nobody. Like, I'm a, like, monogamous person. She's like, okay, respect that. Yeah. And after, like, that talk with Miss Diana, which was very nice, because again, a very girl women conversation.
Yeah,
we get the scenes of her talking to Clovis
is kind of going through it. After we're done with the talk and everything, we actually, to kind of slide him in here, but we will talk about him more briefly in our rankings. Mr. Locho, around them together, they're kind of talking about the way they've lost money. because now they're taking it seriously now that more is a little bit on the line. And that's so funny because we were like, y'all didn't care. Remember the first episode? They were like, we don't care.
Yo, between the first and second episode was wild. Like,
They were
they're
doing
so
it.
funny, I
The
swear.
bed sheets were moving, guys. Y'all should watch it. Well, if you're of age, we do not. We
If
do
you're
not.
18 plus.
We do not excess of minors watching stuff. I am
Well,
gonna
at least
say,
16 because you don't really get to see a lot, honestly.
but anyways, no, Clovis. Is it Clovis, Joel, Lilian, and Locho are all together, and they're kind of talking about the
Yeah.
mistakes that were done, and him basically kind of talking about like, Locho's kind of in a bad spot because he made the group he made the group look dumb because he lost money, and this is the main part. And then another girl kind of played him. She played him. She said, "Thank you, I got what I wanted." L's in the chat for him. While they were talking about like Clovis trying to get a connection with Saida and stuff like that, basically trying to see where her heart is intended. He feels so many things, and we didn't see all those scenes, or like did you do a lot of like one-on-one dates, so we don't know how bondful or if they've like risked the money, but he's really into her, and he don't mind because a lot of men don't mind being in a poly, which is I think, or like being in a love triangle. um
Yeah.
but he's so understanding, so is Nick too, because like it's kind of funny, they were all, and even like Joel in the beginning when he got with his Pookie
Mm-hmm.
Lilian, he's talking about how he loves girls. Remember that part? He's like, I love girls, I'm gonna be here to have fun. But they're like starting to be like committed to these girls, like they go back to them, they're baddies, period.
Yeah, and that scene when they were talking and stuff like that, we also kind of get a glimpse of how, like, a little bit of Locho too, of how not only did he make them lose money, he was kind of giving liar core because he kept saying, "Oh my God, that girl couldn't get off of me." Like she kept saying, like what, like she kept saying, "I don't care about the money. I don't care. I don't care. I just want to be with you." But the funny thing is that it was him she was like the one being like, "Oh my God, you should
Yeah.
be careful, like, oh, I don't want to lose this money." And then he's like, "I don't care, I don't care." So he's like twisting it, which is like, why did you do that? It's not necessary. But it's funny because he didn't care before, but now how we meet him is him being like crying and praying that nobody wastes more money because he
Yeah,
wants that money.
very selfish,
Like
what I
he's
mean?
holds it on. He's like freaking annoying sometimes because of that. But it's like, boy, you're the one who caused them to lose a lot of money, and now you're like here in the end, like grasping for all of it. Like, girl,
No,
no.
it's really bad, especially like that part is kind of where the shift is, I guess, because it was recent, I guess,
Yeah.
right? Of like the last girl kind of dumping him for money. The same thing what Clovis had the option of getting money or staying here to see if he can make
Oh,
it
the other
in.
girl's name was Luce. I did write that. I did capped it. It was like really brief, but thankfully I was able to like remember, and I wrote it down. The other girl that played him that walked out with the 10K was named Luce, which we love her. We support her. We don't even know how she looks like, but we love that girl.
No,
I mean, I
yeah.
think we did see her a
We
little bit because
yeah,
she was on top of
we
him
saw
and
her
stuff.
like getting it down with him, literally.
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like, and that's where we kind of transitioned between, two, basically they're two vulnerable guys because they don't got a couple and stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
Clovis is in the brink of like maybe in or out with Saida, and then we got like Locho over here depressed, and that's where we kind of see the what shows up through the whole entire episode of this dude being like crying like, you guys, why would you guys choose, guys, we need the money. You weren't thinking of that. Literally everybody else said that too. They clocked them. They were like, you weren't thinking of that when that girl played you. Like, don't play. And they even made a little joke towards the end of like the finale and the money and how it's gonna be distributed, of him being like, this girl got more bands than you. And she was here for
Mm-hmm.
2 days. Imagine making that much for 2 days. That's rent. Me and Bernie can move in. Like, don't play.
Literally.
I was like, girl, you effed up.
Yeah. And like how you're saying those transitioning, then we get Clovis and Zaida talking, and she's basically like, oh, like I did feel this connection with you, and she's like saying these beautiful words towards him, but she hits him with the butt. And that's when we get the biggest reveal of the time of the episode. Is that she's like, you know what? I'm sorry, but I think we should just be friends. It's not on you. It's on me. I'm just not like. I don't think I'm feeling that way until right now.
Yeah.
And she was very honest. You know, she
Love
was
that.
like, don't feel bad. Yeah, she's like, don't feel bad. Like it's like, you know, it's just how it is. And then after that scene with Clovis and her, Clovis like obviously men and being rejected.
He was sitting next to the pool. Just, I feel so mean. I'm laughing at men brokenhearted. Do I care? No. But he's literally, you remember? He's like sitting there on the little like little chair.
Yeah.
He's just thinking about life.
Yeah. And then he's like, I think we get like a little, because we also get like slow, like alone clips of them. And he's like, damn, I left, like I stayed with, and then I lost that money and I got
But I'm happy
no bits.
for them.
Really?
He's like this. I'm happy
But I'm
for
happy.
them.
Obviously, with her rejecting him, I already predicted, oh, she's gonna choose Nick, right? Which she did. She gives him they're having a conversation. They were like, oh, you did also like kind of fall into temptation, but I forgive you, and you know, thank you for being patient with me and letting me decide who I want to be with. And then they get together, and then their bracelet turns green, which is giving them a green pass to at least kiss. So they do have a little romantic kiss, which was funny because he looked like he was eating her, like, and like they were very passionate. Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. I guess I don't know what it looks like because I've been single for like how many years?
Too insane.
Exactly. So
since birth.
Since we have that solid coupled like there, and Lana's showing us that, she also switches to another solid couple, which is Carol and Israel. Biz. That's
you
wild.
guys know, you know where he's at our ranked.
Yeah.
He was like that first episode, like that second episode.
And yes.
Or can you guys guess where he's gonna be ranked? Comment down below.
Yeah.
Can you guys guess where he's gonna be ranked?
And I'm gonna be.
Can you guess?
And I'm gonna be honest. Yes, he stayed with Gato towards the end, but don't get your hopes up like that. Like, oh my god, he did pull through. You guys should put him a little bit higher. What's wrong with you guys? No, even though even though they do end up together, he did slip up twice in this whole damn show.
Not once,
but twice. But Miss Gato forgives him, and it's like, you know what? It's okay. It's fine. Just ask me to be your girlfriend. He's like, oh, why don't you ask me to be your boyfriend? She's like, no, you have to ask me. Was like, girl, don't beg. Don't beg.
You're not the catch.
Exactly. And it's crazy because everybody in the end of the episode was like praising Gato, like, she's nice, she's gorgeous, she's a doll, she is possessive, but she's a beautiful person. Which is like, girl, and you forgave him, and she was very in love. You know what? We can't.
Girl, you shouldn't have.
You know what? It's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. They like each other very much.
Oh, and I clocked it too. I was about to remind. The two girls that he was with was Miss Dinah. Okay, who's still in the game, by the way.
Yeah.
And one of the girl who as well like praises Caro. And the second girl was actually the girl that broke my boy.
Oh yeah, Locho.
my boy Locho's heart.
Yeah. That's true.
They got played twice. You know, and he just wanted, like, I don't know, it just sucks because like he went from one girl, and we even saw a scene where he's like, oh, you be like the Black Barbie. Do you remember that? Black Barbie, and you're Ken. You're not Ken.
No.
You're not Ken enough.
You're not.
No.
You're not Ken enough. No. But.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy that Diana gets to see them be a couple. Oh, and she does get praised from Caro. Like, she does praise Caro, and Caro praises her because when Diane was like interested in Israel, she was upfront. Like, she didn't even talk to him before, like, talking to Caro first. She went up to Caro like, hey, I'm interested in your man. I think he's attractive. I think I want to get to know him. I want to create a bond. And Caro's like, you're a very great person. And thank you for telling me that. Thank you for letting me have a warning beforehand so I could like digest everything. So that, of course, again, Diana, she was giving very demure, very mindful, very calm, very women to women, girls. So basically that's. Oh, you have something to say or no?
No, I was just like,
okay.
They're together. They besties.
Right after we see the second couple solidify, we see the other two, the last two couples, which is Joel and Liliana y Flor y Nico. Let's first talk about Flor y Nico. Let's leave the best for last. Let's leave the best for last. Because I have a lot of things to say. I have a lot of things to say about Flor y Nico. I don't know if you feel like that, but I feel like that. And it's like fast. Like these, when they're like giving the couples, together, it's kind of quick. With Flor y Nico, it was like she's too good for him. She's too, like, I know that she has a lot of insecurities, which of course could be a toxic trait and like a turn off for people. But like, ma'am, she has the right to be insecure because, well, honestly, I correct myself. I messed up. She says I love you to him, but like we don't see that. Obviously that was from previous episode, and apparently he didn't say it back, and that's not how he feels. Which, okay, I understand that. She does say I love you too soon. I don't know how long. Do you know how long is the recording from like the first to like last episode?
Usually they're shorter than what usually would be. They're shorter than like what a Love Island and stuff like that. But it is a summer. They are almost
2 months. 1 month
and a half or so.
1 month and a half.
Yeah, something like that.
Well,
yeah, something like that. Because then you have to like get there, and then well, I'm pretty sure this was filmed before COVID, or I can't remember. Is it before or after? But you usually have to, especially where you're going, you have to check health stuff. They always do that.
Yeah.
Because uno nunca sabe. Especially like if they're gonna be active like the first episode, you do have to get checked.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So like that's a long time being there, and then you just meet each other, and I think we give benefit of the doubt because they do spend like day and night together.
That's true.
That's basically how it is. They share a bathroom,
and they get like kind of like together. A therapy session throughout the episode, so they do have bonds. So maybe I'm giving Nico the better benefit of the doubt, like, oh, it's too soon. But in the way, the reason why I'm like appalled by him is because he's like, oh, I know how I feel, and I know how I feel about you, and I'm not gonna say I love you. Like that phrase, like even in Spanish, it sounds that tough.
Weirdest.
It's the way
Spanish is worse, I think.
Yeah, the phrasing was weird to me because you could have said, yes, I appreciate your love for me, and although I can't say it to you now, I could say it to you maybe possibly in the future, or maybe like but right now I just like you. I don't feel that way about you. But like the way he said it was like, oh, I know how I feel, and I know like basically saying he would never love her. It felt like that. I don't know about you. How you tell me? Did you feel that way? Did you agree with me?
Okay, so he said, I literally wrote already. These are my notes. Nico, a dumbass.
Nico, a dumbass.
Yeah, no English grammar included. Nico, a dumbass. And I wrote, too soon to say I love you. And he did say that, and that's why I added it. I shorted it, but he basically just states that like it's too soon for him to say it. He's like, I know how I feel. I know this. I know that I care about you. And I think people who are not Latinos, or not from the community, or if there's another term in other cultures, let us know.
Yeah.
We love different cultures. But there's a term of saying te amo, and then the te quiero.
Te quiero.
And a lot of times romantically they do use te quiero, and to me, for shows that are in Spanish, I like te quiero a lot more than te amo.
And which just to like get like for like maybe there's non-Spanish speakers here, which I doubt, but just in case, it's really hard because it's more to it.
Yeah.
But I guess if you want a translation to be like I want you, because that's basically what it says. It's like instead of saying I love you, it's I want you. But obviously I want you so too harsh because there's still more like levels to it to the ghetto. So
Yeah.
it's like
it's weird.
it's really hard word to translate, which those who knows get it,
Yeah,
get it. But yeah.
because you can translate it as like they love you, and people do use it in that connotation, and that's why like languages and the way they're said are really different, because a lot of times you can say, oh, like, I love you,
Yeah.
like it's simple. But the quiero as well, it's like what? It's I want you, it's I care for you. And a lot of those terms are in the same connotation of love,
Mm-hmm.
right? Te amo has been less used, I think, in my opinion. And I feel like I rather listen to te quiero more than
That could
te
also
amo.
be like something we need to work on because like we don't really rarely say te amo like that people Hispanic people prefer to say I love you, like they don't even know English, but they're like I rather say I love you than te amo because te amo feels even stronger beyond than I love you, but it could just be in our
Yeah.
households. But anyways,
Mm-hmm.
that happened, and then we get finally but not least our best power couple duo, which is Joel and Liliana. I love them. You don't get it. They had the perfect, like, I literally don't even, like, I love them so much, but there's literally nothing to talk about because they're perfect for each other. Everything goes by well. Like, they have a good date. Is they literally riding on a horse, giving novela
Oh my
with the
gosh.
beach,
I literally said novela, beautiful sunset riding,
in the beach.
and then it's gorgeous.
Yeah, and it leads
I
them
love it.
to a picnic. So yes, they're riding and they're like having a conversation, and they get on a picnic. They say thank you to Lana. They're like, oh my god, you ate it up with these like things. And when they're in the picnic sitting down, obviously there's nothing to say to add that's surprising because they have a good conversation. They're like, oh, I can't wait to meet your parents. I want to ask your parents permission from Joel's part. And I was like, damn, he got me there. And even her, she was very caring. She was like, oh, I'm gonna tell them to give cook you like this certain food that I guess is like a Mexican trait, because I think they're both Mexican, right?
Yeah, they're both Mexican. I think they're from different sectors.
Area.
I think one's next to like Mexico City,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one's a little bit more off.
Mm-hmm.
But no, yeah, that was really cute. And to give him more praise, more approval than he needs, going back to Clovis and him, they talked before Sight and him go apart.
Yeah.
In a little hammock.
Yeah.
That's what they're called. I was trying to figure out the name. I'm like, what's it called?
Yeah.
But he was talking about, remember this? Like, while she, like, they do, like, scenes of her working out, of Lilian. Joel was talking about, like, oh, I couldn't share her. Like, I'm ready. Like, I think this is the girl I'm gonna be committed. I'm gonna be married.
And it sounds way better in Spanish. Like, I know in English it's, like, good and romantic, but in Spanish
we're not
it's
cooking.
better.
It sounds like, girl, it's been, like, one, like, no. In Spanish, he is that guy. He's like, I'm ready to be committed. Like, I think this is the girl. Like, I just want to live with her. I don't want to scare her away. I was like,
It's so good. It was so good.
I love
it was
them.
great.
I gotta praise him. I had to add that,
Yeah, a little bit of
Because
extra
Clovis.
sauce.
He
You're
already
right,
got
you're
rejected.
right. I can give you your cookies.
Yeah, he got rejected. To the next, but we care about Joel, and Joel showed a lot of dedication because that's a lot, especially for how long they've been there.
Mm-hmm.
And especially the growth. Like, recapping the first episode, we literally got them together, and then by the time that they woke up after the dancey guys and the stuff they did, right? Like, Lilian and Nick were already interested another way. So, like, and he was dedicated to her.
We love that. We love to
And I love it. We love it. So, yeah, so it's like a lot of beautiful growth, and he's been there for her, supportive, listens to her, and I think just really give it patience because, he didn't think about it too hard. And guess what? They're now in the sunset, riding away in love, and they're gonna meet each other parents. Like, don't play.
Yes. And then closing that up, the beautiful scene, we go back into the living room that I assume is the living room, which is like everybody singing a big sofa together, and Lana gives us like the title, the name, the last temptation she gives, which is like the last challenge, and she chooses the couple and to go to a sweet room, a special room, which has like a lot of fruits, wine, very romantic bathtub. Like, it's really hard to resist the temptation of like wanting to do the extra devil's tangle, or even touchy and feeling places that they shouldn't. And she does choose obviously Carol and Israel because low-key, I feel like they did that because they're like they're like the most like, because when they started the episode, you know, if you saw the video, it was like they were the most like, you know, active, like they were like back to back. So they go to this special room, and everybody, when Lana announces that they're the ones going to the suite, everybody's faces are like, damn, we lost the money, we lost everything.
Locho the most.
Yeah, he was actually like, please, bro. At this point, I thought they were like, I don't know. If I was Caro, I'll be pissed off. Like, he was like, oh, you better not do anything. I know you're gonna do something. I know you're gonna lose all the money. Like, girl.
He was crying. You remember? He was like hands on his knees.
Like,
he's like,
please. Oh, he's also, I don't know, Locho. Honestly, I think Israel is a point above Locho, because he goes, oh, I know my dog Israel is like gonna be beating to temptation, but Carol, oh my god, I that girl's crazy. Excuse me? You're talking about the dude who was tempted twice? Okay, maybe he wasn't tempted in that way, but he was still tempted. Exactly. Locho.
that girl.
Anyways.
Crying and whining for what?
Everybody was...
This could be like a whole entire 30-minute video of us.
Yeah, about that.
Meeting. Locho, it's like the battles of Locho and Israel hate.
Literally.
And that's insane.
Literally. But... everybody was begging, like, please. But honestly, Flor, who was it? Was it Flor and Liliana? Like, most of the girls were like saying, you know, honestly, they deserve, if they do end up doing something and losing that money, they kind of deserve it, because they were very patient with the others who had the opportunity to go to the suite, and the others,
Locho started the prayer.
Yeah, the others were actually, you know, didn't care, and they used the money up. So, like, you know, it's not fair for them to be the whole responsible of it, and they're not gonna enjoy it. So, with that being said, we get them in the room. Because this is YouTube, we can't really
Rise and shine.
Yeah, because this is YouTube, we can't really like get into details with it. But we'll say this. Obviously, we're gonna talk about it a little bit more with Alexa's opinions and stuff. But like, I'm just gonna say this: in that room, there's a lot of clips of them like it's like basically teasing the not only teasing themselves, but teasing the audience. Like, oh, they did. Like, everybody's like, oh, they did it. No, they didn't. No, they did. They did. Honestly, your first reaction. Okay, since we can't go into details about like the actual actions within itself, we'll talk about how our theory was. I honestly thought they did it the first time. Like, the first time I watched the last episode, I honestly thought they were like, oh, they did it. What do you think? Did you think they did it or did not?
When you watched it the first time, I was like, it's a wrap. Especially with the scenes, they were very like teasing, like Brittany said, and like there's literally like a tub there with flower petal.
Yep.
Yeah, sounds like romance. Sounds like.
Oh yeah.
And especially, we'll get into this later. I think when Lana comments about it, about like how they had to check, like, you know.
Oh yeah.
Check the footage and then check. Literally, I was like, yeah, they did it.
Yes,
like,
the wording was also like very like, damn. I don't know, the footage and everything was like,
insane.
They did it. But everybody wakes up. Everybody gets ready. It's the last moment, the final minutes. They go back to the living room after the night and stuff like that. When Israel and Caro come out, they're like, oh, look at that face, look at that girl, they did it. Everybody's like, yeah, they did it. They sit down. Lana speaks. Lana's like, after checking the footage, after checking the sheets if they were clean. That comment was wild, honestly. Lana be eating with them comments, and
that's where I was like, yeah, they got together.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
So after that, she goes, they were safe. They did not do it. So because of that, they got a reward. Which is doubled.
Period.
Doubled. So it was like they had 40,000 left, and now they're up to how much, Alexa?
80K money.
Yes.
80K. Isn't that insane? That's a lot.
Yeah, from how much they
like,
lost.
No bang.
Yeah. Which was great. Now we get to, since we have the total and we saw that they were composed. Oh, before moving on to like the last portion, that's when Locho cried, like literally cried. Everybody was hugging Carol. Everybody was hugging.
His face.
He was crying. I was like, sir?
Look, guys. I was literally, like, while I'm setting up, I'm like, my face is so red, guys. his face was better than mine.
Yes.
Like his face, he was in tears. Like,
He
girl,
jumped
I don't
them.
think I've cried.
He jumped them and hugged them too.
Like, he was so happy. Like, boy, what do you? And like, I've seen past Too Hot to Handle
Yeah.
before, and the first season that I've seen of Too Hot to Handle, the U.S. version, literally the biggest, I think, shocker, which is funny to me because it makes sense, is that like at the end, like Lana was focusing in every couple, especially the narrator, that the person who would win the amount in total would be that couple only, so nobody else would get money. And so I'm like, boy, you're acting like, and that's why the kind of concept I had on this one, because I haven't seen, only seen that first season when, like, reality shows, Love Island is coming out and all these
True.
love match and etc. Like, I was like, oh, like it's gonna be the same thing. Like, I don't really like know. And especially Brittany asked me before we started like watching them. I was like, I don't know if it's gonna be the same thing, but that's what I remember. So I was like, boy, why you like that? And number two, aren't you single?
They all used, like you said earlier, she and other Too Hot to Handle show like editions, they would get, only one couple would get the reward and they would split between themselves. But for this Latino edition, everybody went with something, which I'm gonna let Alexa tell you quickly who got how much. And
Okay.
yeah, let's do that. Let's do who got too much.
Ready, guys? Yeah, that was good. That was emotional. That was groundbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, in there, in between the time, because we do get a time countdown of when like where it's like finally the retreat's over, of them like they can now kiss without this bracelet being like, it's red, girl, you can't kiss. They have a little emotional talk, which we talked about it throughout each character. That's where like a lot of the comments and a lot of this stuff comes out, and that's how we know a lot of the men lore, because they think they're the fart, like my girl Ice Spice is. So now that we're in this emotional part, we get the first couple. They're talking about the experience and what they learned, how much money and que tuercos they are with the money.
Yeah.
And the first person that stands up is Miss Dinah.
Yes.
Our Miss Baddie, Black Barbie, that girl. We loved her, supportive friend and everything. She, they tell her everything and she tried to learn, her from mistakes, try to get a couple. She tried to find somebody. She ends up with $2,000, which me and Brittany have an opinion on that one.
But that's,
But
let's talk about that a little bit later when we get everybody's amount. But
a little
fun
later,
fact,
right?
I liked her so much that in my brain when they said the amount, I thought they said 12,000. I was like, it was tells off it.
Oh yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
this. She was like, no, it's 12K. I was like, no, Brittany, she said 2,000.
And I was like,
do the little B-roll shot.
yes.
We're like, what? And we're like this because of one other person. Yes. Alrighty. Now, the next person that stands up, we have Saida Nick. Especially now that Clovis dipped and he got kicked out because he lost money.
He said he wants to leave, but he got kicked out because he had nobody and he wasn't gonna take money.
He had no money, lost money. Literally, Joel says the best line. It's better in Spanish, but he talks about like, with no girl and no money.
That's sad.
Damn. That sucks. Has to be him. But they talk about like, they've went through so much turmoil together, and they're gonna be committed in their long distance and stuff like that because he's Colombian, she's from España. They end up with $8,000. Period.
8,000 is not bad.
That's cute. That's nice.
Yeah, they get 4,000 each.
Period. Mr. Locho.
Yeah, Mr. Locho, Mr. Poncho, Mr. Concho.
They tell him that he tried, and they brought up his L that he got. Got played. 2 days. This girl was here 2 days. She got this man to waste money, and the same type of like ultimatum that Clovis had of either staying or leaving with money. This girl took the 10K.
As she should. She has no emotional depth with these people. I would do too.
Funniest thing. Yeah, and I think that's where I think now that we watched it the second time, I think I understood why he was mad
Yeah.
because we were trying to process every new person and trying to process every relationship and then their situations from each clip. But we understood why he was such a little baby about like guys don't kiss. Like guys respect the group. Like please. Like bruh, be for
Yeah.
real. Anyways, he got 5,000. The next couple is Flor and
Mhm.
Nico. We talk about them that they had trust issues and like that almost broke the relationship.
Mhm.
And there's a lot of commitment, but there's a lot of growth between both characters. They end up with 15,000. Wow,
Bow Wow.
that's a nice
Which I just
number.
realized
I
is
like that
like more
number.
than España and Nick. What is that about?
I I would switch it, me personally. I feel like Saida and Nico, especially her love triangle, had more effect
More like
because that takes a
entertainment
lot. Because she had
purpose.
chosen
Yeah,
herself.
it did show both of España growth and Nick. So it's just like Israel and I don't know, but in the same time, Flor deserved it. So
So yeah, it was really beautiful. But yeah, I think the intent of especially with Flor and especially I know there must have been like a scene where like they opened up about their insecurities or hers specifically and stuff like that. So they definitely deserved it as a couple. You know, both Argentinos live, love, laugh. Our next couple, two couples stand up. They called Lilian and Joel, and then they called Caro and Israel,
mhm.
and they tell them that they both went through stuff. They're the couples that have been the most
That's true.
committed,
Yes, yes, yes,
committed
yes. The
together.
most time of them being together.
They didn't straggle that far. They've literally gone, I think, all 8 seasons. Yeah, all 8 season guys, all 8 episodes going through with each other. And I think especially the toxicity, and then especially that lenient that you see them go from well, we see them go from really loose, really with a lot of fun, and being like, we'll see who's gonna be here. I don't think I'm gonna date. And another thing, they said that they're not gonna date, or they don't think they're gonna find someone like that. And then they go from being really serious and talking about like
Yeah.
family, and then pains, and etc. Like it's really beautiful. I was like in tears, and they both, or Lana decided that they both deserve a whopping of 25K each, which is absolutely insane. And that's the rest of the money gone. Like that's insane. That's a lot of money, bro. I need that money.
Me too, girl.
Please
25K.
donate.
Eat, eat, eat. Which honestly, I agree. I feel like they should have both couples did deserve. If everybody was gonna get something, I feel like both those two couples specifically deserved more. Because even if I don't like Israel and Carol, just look like Sofia Carson to me, they do like you said, like mostly Carol was very like growing, forgive, like she was able to forgive even though she's very like possessive. She was able to forgive Israel and like grew. And then Joel, I was never worried. I was never worried.
He's
The moment that
perfect.
Joel was like, I want her, and I'm gonna tell her I want her, and when they had that communication, the communication is key. I was like, you know what? There's nothing that's gonna break them. Nothing's gonna break that bond. But before we get into our rankings, our favorites, or anything we want to add, you know what I realized, Alexa, while you were talking, and I was like
Yes.
looking around, that
Yeah.
Manuela was nowhere to be found.
Honorable mention: the person that should have won all the money,
Yeah.
Manuela.
She was literally in there. I guess because I mean, the first two episodes, she got zero action. She got 0%. So, I
Yeah.
guess,
I didn't know. We loved her, guys. She was our number
yeah,
one rank.
she was there just to kiss the girls, honestly. And she said, I'm kissing the girls, and I dipped. I
Period.
wonder what happened. I guess we'll never know unless we go back and, like, by ourselves do
I
it.
guess either she, yeah, either she got faced with like like that same action,
Yeah.
like
I
the
just,
thing of like money
yeah,
and this, or
yeah,
she got out.
I just wonder if she left with nothing because she wasn't giving nothing, or did she get money for at least being very, like, respectable, I guess. We'll do that
Yeah,
like individually. We'll like watch if we want to know, but I don't know if I'm gonna watch it because girl, it was too much. But anyways,
we were first episode, guys. Our faces. If we could have done a reaction, Literally, we were like, what? They don't even know each other.
Literally. But yeah,
It was insane.
so much happened, so many things. We do think before going to our, like again before doing that, let me tell you something that we have to talk about. Another thing was me that
Mhm.
Alexa was mentioning earlier. Diana deserved to get more money than Locho, or at least the same amount. I feel like Locho should have gone 2,000, or at least they would. She should have gotten 5,000. I don't know, but I don't know why Locho got more money than Diana. I don't know. I don't know why.
She didn't get played. A winner. What do you call it? She played the game. That's what it is. A baller's a baller. She should have won the money.
Yes, and a little bit more into Diana, even though she was very like understandable and very demure, she was also kind of like salty about like she you could tell she wasn't over a little bit, like she was over Israel, like she doesn't care, but you know she still was a little bit salty about Israel, because when Israel and Caro got up to like know what they got, she does give this face like, oh, like, you know, she gives this face when Nana was saying, oh, you guys grew together, you guys stay together, and she went like a little look, but it was very brief, which we love that. Like she has a right to feel. Like I like, muchas kisses. Do you want anything else to add? Because that's the only thing I have to add.
No, yeah, I think that's kind of overall. Like, she was that girls. She went in there to play the game, really. Like, I think people always kind of forget when a new person comes, especially they talk about it when they're kind of giving, like, their love and they're, like, their last toast together and stuff like that. Like, that it was really, like, she was really honest. Like, she went up to Garo and told her,
Yeah.
like, hey, I'm interested in your man. And she was really open. She gave advice, and I think that's where Saida got the I should ask her for
Mhm.
advice type of
Mhm.
context. And so it was like really, I think, beautiful. And like, yeah, we don't see much, but I think we can really grasp her type of person, especially Lana explains
Mhm.
more of her trying to find somebody, etc. So yeah, she deserves more, guys. Justice for my girl Dino.
Period.
Period.
So let's go to the rankings. Let me do the rankings first. Or you want to do the rankings first?
You could go do
Okay.
first. Go
I'm not
ahead.
including the new members. Like that's something we're talking about, the rankings of the couples. You know, we're not doing the 1 to 10, but we're doing the couples number 1 through 4, I guess, because there are only 4 couples left. Um, so I
Mhm.
top obviously Liliana and Joel. Right. My second will have to be honestly España and Nick. I like them better than Carol and Israel, mostly because España and I keep calling her España, Zaira and Nick are they're like, I feel like Nick is more committed to her and like more like honest with her. I feel like, I mean, Israel, you could tell that he's also like, you know, obsessed with Carol, but like I don't know, he still gives me an off vibe. Then after Panya and Nick will be actually Carol and Israel, because they give more, and honestly they do kind of deserve each other, because she is very like they both have like that same level of vibe, I guess. And then Flor and Nico are the last one. I know Flor and Nico were less toxic than Carol and Israel, but I put them last because I feel like Flor deserves much better. Florida, in my opinion, I think
Period.
she deserves better. And I feel like Nico just with her just because honestly he just wanted to get some money. I ain't gonna lie, but she was serious and she was like crying in the end, and that makes me feel bad. So I put that to. Hello, Alexa's like laughing at me, but that's what I have to say. I'm done now. Alexa, you have to say what you have to say. Go.
Okay, guys. Okay, so my number one is Liliana and Joel. I think it's pretty clear. They've always been in the top parts, especially with the rankings from episode 1 and 2. Um, yeah, they never really changed my mind, especially who they are. And I think to say this before I go with the rest, all the women deserve better. AKA, they all deserve a Joel. So period. Call me Pookie. I'm 21 now. Well, not until LMAO. No, but yeah, like they show so much love. I think even with not having the context of how it went, I think it really showed that they really persevered as a couple, and they talked it through. He talked it through, and I know that he opened up a lot about the care he has for the guys because they do a lot of workshop without like the girls there. And I don't know, it's really special. I think makes it really strong. And he did win me over with his little lecture of like, I might settle down with her. And I love it. I'm a little romantic, guys. A little romantic, but a hater. Anyways, my second couple was a little hard. I didn't know specifically which one because I have to start thinking about them together as a group instead of them separately. And that's why, I comment about all the girls, the other three deserve better and stuff like that because, or a lot of work because a lot of their man deflated the relationship. Even though they do have pros and cons, I don't know. The men just did it. Like they came there with a con, they left there with the con. Like, yeah, he came there, you know what I mean? Like he did his thing there. So my second couple would be just with the growth and especially like there were two couples I did not expect that they would still be together, Saida and Nick. Literally surprised that they're still together. I thought they were gonna like separate and go with different people. Like they weren't bad people, but I think with the first interaction of all passion, and I think that's why the show was created, was like, you're all passion and you're coupled up, but like after you lose the sensation of having the ability of going out to do a sneaky 1-2 or whatever, like it gets taken away. I think that's the whole other point. You have to make connections, and even she says it. That's why they lose so much money in this show and stuff like that. So then my second person, my third person, I was going back and forth, but I had to think about them overall, and I think my third person had to be Caro and Israel, which is insane. I put on four Flor and Nico, just with the fact that overall, even though I said that I shouldn't think about them individually, Nico needs help. I don't like the way he worded things. I don't like my my face. Nico needs help. No, he needs help, bro, because I just don't like his wording. I love an honest person. Um, definitely, if I was in the show, I want an honest man. Definitely someone who lets me know, especially I never do this type of reality show, let's be honest. But if I was in a show like this, I would want them to be honest. If they're going to pursue someone else, if they're going to be like that. And this dude, like, I don't know if he ever went to pursue another person, exactly, but his heart was not there. And it really fell down to Flor to carry the relationship with her intentions, and like Brittany said, like get benefit of doubt for them, like maybe it's like a month and a half, stuff like that. But like I really do think that he could have worded it, and that's the thing. He did say that, te quiero, but what he said after and before that really ruined it down, because he's like, I already know how I feel, I already know, I don't have to say that, etc. Like he could have said it really nicely and stuff like that, a little bit better or more expressed, etc. Like I don't know, it's just like an easy factor, and it really showed like Flor's like understanding the con and then the pro that she has within herself. So that's why he's my lowest rank. I'm surprised that Caro and Israel were my top ones, and it's kind of hard because Israel has a lot of flaws, a little too many. Let's be honest. To which I literally my last place in every single rank that we had. But I think to see the change that Garo has, and especially him, I think even with the things that we got, I think they definitely could work it out. He needs help too. Maybe they can be bunk buddies, you know. But I don't know. It's like I think they really did try to show it. I really believe, especially like Garo came in there not perfect. She wanted him. She got him. She did him. I believe that she didn't stray away. As far as we know, she never strayed away. I think she was definitely the head, the pants in the relationship. And I think Israel saw that in her and saw like type of thing, because he did say that he didn't like people who were like that. But there must have been like more conversation. I'm just giving a benefit of doubt, but between both evils, I rather low key Israel, because he didn't say it. He didn't say it the way he never. I think he never told Caro, as far as I've seen. If he did, remove that, remove the rank. But never. I think even when he was asking her to be a girlfriend, he was like, "You should ask me." He did ask her, and he did say like, "I know," stuff like that. Even though I feel like it's a little manipulative. I don't know if you could, especially when they were talking the rocks. But I think I give him the benefit of doubt because he was really honest. He did say that he was bad. And this is, guys, this is the most you're gonna get me to love that man. That's it. That's it. Alrighty. With everything we yapped about, everything we talked about, the teased, the slip ups, not the type of slip ups, guys. We show a lot of crazy scenes, even with the little, we gotta love the little flash scenes. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this last episode, not last from this series. No, guys, show the love. We saw your guys' love and the views in our last two, so let us know, because we have a really great way of choosing, aka the wheel of names, honorable mention, and we absolutely love it. So anyways, guys, remember to comment, like, and subscribe. Follow us on our social medias down below. We are there, our TikToks, etc. See what we're up to. We love you guys, and thank you for eating it up with Las Contreras.